Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
God not only causes the Jordan River to part so that they might know that Joshua is their leader and that God is among them, or to get them into the land, physically into the land, but God specifically says that he will perform this sign and wonder as a guarantee, not only that his people would enter the land, but that they would conquer the land. And that God would not fail to drive out before you every single inhabitant of this promised land. All of the inhabitants, all of God's enemies, he would drive out from before his people. So this promise, as it pertains again to the heavenly reality, the eternal reality for us, for those of us who are in Christ, what it means is that Christ died and rose again. Christ, he passed through this Jordan River. He promises to pass through it with us, to accompany us through death when our time comes. And what this means in real terms is not only will we enter heaven, but that God will give to us a full inheritance. It is not only God's way of getting Israel into the land, but saying, I will give you all of the land, and I will drive out every obstacle, every inhabitant that would stand in my way from giving you not just a partial inheritance, but a full inheritance. Christ's death and resurrection and his covenant of grace and promise to be with us in our death and resurrection is likewise an assurance that we will not only enter heaven, but that we will inherit all of heaven. We are co-heirs with Christ. And every promise that has been given to him through union with him by faith, that promise belongs to us as well. We are not only promised that through faith we might enter into the heavenly Canaan, but that all of it belongs to us. And that every single sin which so easily entangles, and every single drop of God's white-hot wrath for sin, every enemy that would inhibit us or hinder us from the fullness of this promise, this inheritance, will be removed. And it has been removed in Christ by virtue of his life, his death, his resurrection, and glorious ascension to the right hand of God the Father. By trusting in Jesus, not only will you enter heaven, but you are promised to receive all of heaven, a full inheritance. Every single promise given to Christ is yours through faith.
Whoa, you're going to want to hear this. Our next two conferences are coming up quick. We've got first our fall conference. This is November 11th and 12th. That's a full day Saturday and a holdover for the Lord's Day, November 12th. Who's speaking at this conference? Well, we've got Jared Longshore and Chris Wiley and yours truly, Pastor Joel Webben. What's the title? The title is The Household and the War for the Cosmos. Now, I know you're thinking, wait a second, you can't use that title, Joel. That's the title for Chris Wiley's book. Well, I can use it because he's going to be there speaking and he gave me his permission. We're going to be talking about the household as the basic building block for pushing back the kingdom of darkness in this world. We're going to be talking about biblical patriarchy. We're going to be talking about marriage and parenting, how to keep your kids, how to shape and form them like straight arrows, like sharp arrows that do damage to the kingdom of darkness, training our children in the fear and admonition of the Lord. A full day on Saturday, November 11th, and then holding Jared Longshore over for the Lord's Day, November 12th, to preach at my church, Covenant Bible Church in Central Texas. You can register at the early bird rate, which will not last long, but you can register at the early bird rate today by going to rightresponseconference.com. Again, that's rightresponseconference.com. Now, our second conference is our spring conference. This is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The title for this conference, Blueprints for Christendom 2.0. Blueprints for Christendom 2.0. We don't want to revert back to Christendom 1.0, although it would certainly be a whole lot better than the clown world that we're currently living in. But we recognize, despite the phenomenal features of a prior Christendom, there were certain bugs that we'd like to see worked out. So we're not going back. We are pushing forward to Christendom 2.0. We believe that the blueprints are 7 doctrines for ruling the world righteously. What are these 7 doctrines? Well, it's Reformed confessionalism, it's covenant theology, it's biblical patriarchy, it's presuppositionalism and Kuyperianism, and general equity theonomy and hopeful eschatology post-millennialism. Who's going to be teaching us on these doctrines? Voldemort, he who must not be named, Pastor Douglas Wilson himself. You also got Mr. Brighthearth, Mr. King's Hall, Mr. Haunted Cosmos, Pastor Brian Sauvé. And we also have Dr. Joseph Boot, and of course, yours truly, Pastor Joel Webbin. We'll be doing 7 primary lectures as well as 2 90-minute panels with all the speakers together, and we'll likely add a couple more speakers along the way. Again, that's March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Blueprints for Christendom 2.0. We've got the early bird rate going right now, but it will run out quickly. So go to rightresponseconference.com, rightresponseconference.com to register today.